Hello, this is episode 168 of the Purple Psychology Podcast. I'm Dr. Nisha Riley. As promised, my podcast will care about the pending American election, despite the fact that I'm in Ireland, because it has massive implications worldwide. I've already recorded the reasons for this in previous episodes, but you can expect at least one podcast in every batch to center around a topic to do with the pending American election. This one is for winning at voting code calling. If I was training code callers right now, this is what I would do. But you can similarly apply this to any debate, especially a political one or a religious one where you have very polarized views. The first part about this is that it's very easy when you get into a political debate to feel like there's only one option to win. These calls are not about winning. It's not about picking a side and winning or losing a call. For me, the main aims are to extend the conversation for as long as possible before you've hit the red wall, to try to not offer a side for as long as possible, but to offer comparison instead, to make this beyond November the 3rd, to not win or lose, but to sow doubt, to plug what's currently happening into a very human, personal experience. So let's talk out these points. A date beyond the 3rd of November. What I've noticed at the moment is that people can only plan for now. They can't even see the full effects beyond this week. They need to understand the differences between how Europe, Asia, and Oceania are currently trying to successfully manage this pandemic. Some are doing that better than others, but it's a balance between a number of factors: containing the infection rate, keeping an economy as sustainable as possible, not having to assist every sector long-term all at once, keeping the vulnerable safe, not overloading your healthcare system so that you don't have to make the difficult choices, as they did in Italy, of who dies, the 60-year-old or the 45-year-old. And in many cases, they set the people beyond those age groups to one side because they simply couldn't cope. Make this about what everyone else has and what you don't. The choices and the space that's being created. The aspect that some economies have opened up, that some may move back slightly and take a sort of a half a step back, but that doesn't mean complete closure, while other areas can continue to make a step forward. It's that balancing act currently that's happening for people. You have to understand that none of that is going to magically go away on the 3rd of November. And that if you don't have those choices and those differences now, and that hasn't been created in the current administration, will that change beyond the 3rd of November? Make this personal. A date beyond the 3rd of November, to put this in context for everyone, is Thanksgiving. Who's not at the dinner table this year? Was that preventable? How much longer can your employment or your business sustain the current exposure? What has been the human experience? Make it personal for yourself. Talk out your own personal stories. Use this as an invitation for them to talk out theirs. What has the effect been on you, on your family? Get as many relatable personal reference points in before you hit that red wall. Once you've hit that wall, you aren't going over it very easily. And your job is not to win or to lose or to batter down that wall. It's to sow the doubt. You need to show the comparison. And then the current reality will continue, and then maybe it might be the conversation they had which makes them reflect on the lack of plan beyond the 3rd of November. Where will they be emotionally, financially, and psychologically for Thanksgiving? The question no one has asked them. They assume that it's going to look like last year. It's not. But with the current reality, will the year after even look like last year? And who will actually be left sitting at the table, and who will be able to travel, and who will have a business or a job that's in any way sustainable? If they are on your side, you have given them all of the concepts and conversation cues to help them to convert someone else in a debate. And you haven't been having a debate. You haven't got into that lockerhead situation because you've been doing a comparison outside your country. And it's much easier to think in terms of comparison rather than in terms of blame. You're asking someone to compare what they have and what other people have. And you're asking them to think beyond a magic number to an event that's very important in all American lives, such as Thanksgiving.